Okay, here I am back with my door after the vinyl that I had spread on it earlier had hardened up. You can see I've already sanded on that one. That one's looking pretty good. You feel it. Normally what I like to do with this heavier stuff here is I will use 100 grit. Starting out with 100 grit. This is all block sanded on this, so you could DA it, but then you probably just have to rebondo it again because you wouldn't get the straightness and the ding out that you want. But normally, like that, and follow the contour of the metal that you're sanding, as far as it be the door, the shape of the door that way or lengthwise. Not all that round and down where it's smooth, and that's why you try not to put more than you really want in there. Go through the paper fairly quick when you got a lot to sand down. As you can see, like in there with the different colors of the filler, each time I get down to that, I know I'm down to my last smooth spot. Got one little dimple right there. It's up a little bit, so I'll be sanding that out. I can see it better now that I have the better light. Normally you should wear a face mask. It's not windy out today and most of the dust is settling right down, but see it's kind of going away from me. Might make you sneeze. Piece. Oh, it's still good when you're giving them hunks of sandpaper on that. Right off the back, you're using some filler. Now, I'm mostly trying to stay on the filler spot too and not get into the door too much because that's just that much extra sanding. But you can see a low spot right there as I sand across. If you can see them lines. And it's not cutting through that part of the filler yet. So. I'll get that kind of blended into that, and I'll be where it needs to be. I just use the DA papers, the round ones on my flat sander, just because then I don't have to buy a bunch of different papers all the time. It just costs more, but you can buy flat paper that works on your sanding blocks better. It's getting harder to find what they call the jitterbug papers because hardly nobody uses them. I always like them, but a lot of people must not anymore because nobody hardly uses a jitterbug. Sander, air sander. Get that little high spot right there down a little bit more. Don't want to work too long in that one spot, trying to get that higher side down, because if you do, you'll end up going low, and then you're going to have to to refill it again, especially if you're on your last coat. Hide the spot out before I can start doing a complete going over each to get that little, because if I just try it flat, it takes forever to get that edging out where you can't feel it with the metal. Then I can, when it's got enough of an angle, I can smooth to it and it will be gone. Then you want to do the long, you don't have to press real hard once you're getting it down smooth, and you're just trying to get it to feel like it's metal. I can run that across, you don't feel nothing. Just a little bit right up here. And then there's the edges I need to get down a little bit. Remember, the only thing you really got to press very hard when you're sanding is when you're first starting out, trying to get all that heavy stuff down. Once you start getting it down to smooth, you want to lighten way up on the pressure that you're using on the block sand. Lighting shows it from where you're at, but just shows a little line right there. You can see of the whole stuff. I get down to that, I should be pretty good on that thing. That just little line, because I can feel it just a hair, and it don't look bad, but you are probably going to see that in your primer. And if you can see it in your primer, you're going to see it in your paint. Now I realize it's only a restoration on an old stuff. Completed when I do it, just trying to make it look better. Kind of going with the way that I feel the... Sometimes you get lightly on your block. Instead of having a flat surface on, you just kind of lean it a little, so you're using like that corner edge to go across it for that flat. Some people don't like to go more than one direction on it. I go all the way across the surface around. Right, especially when you're doing it light. When you're first sanding it, you don't really have to. You just sand it till you get it where you want it, so you can start lightly working on it. Well, that's pretty, back to that, but that's pretty good for that depth there. New paper on this one. Start with what I got. When you first start sanding, it doesn't feel like you're doing anything. Especially with that piece of paper. A lot of times I'll use some of these that I use for the lighter sanding. Just to kind of get some of this down, but pretty much once they get gummed up. That's another reason I say you don't really want to, I mean, you got to do kind of a long smear across certain dents, but you want to get more bonded and a lot more than what you need, because it's just a lot of extra work sanding them out. And you could use a DA, if you're real good, you could use a finish DA on this. Spin it slow enough RPMs. You could DA around that and do pretty good, but not too close on this one. But there's a chance of DA now. Just want to get that stuff down smooth. Peeling away at it a little bit. Board file is messed up. If I had my board file going, I'd definitely use that on this. Get this across and starting. And a wide circle. That would have worked pretty good. A lot of guys won't go back and forth, they'll just always go to one direction. I locked it down from all the way to get it. Always have a level with the top of the door. Because even though the door looks like it goes flat straight, it also curves a little. I just hold it flat, of course, it doesn't fit right. Just eventually I follow the path where the door on that angle where it goes straight across plus down. You can see as I'm sanding that, it's starting to come out of there a little bit. Heavier edges down just before, so I'm not feeling a big bump there that I gotta go to. Close. Ribs here and there. flat helps. That flat surface actually helps because you use your hand, you got your hand in shape, and sometimes you get high and low spots. Remember that dent's only just a little ding in there. It's got this much just because you need to blend it in. Otherwise, it'd be nice to fill that little dent and sand it smooth, but it would just never happen. So you have to blend it in. And you've always got to bond to a little bit more area than you fix it. And you sand most of it out, remember that. The more you put on, the harder it's going to be to sand it out, and the more work you're going to have to sand it out what you've got. And after I've gotten that pretty much where I want it with my 100 grit, good, then what you're going to want to get, I usually go, I'm going to switch paper here. 150 grit here. I'll go over that lightly with that. That helps get a lot of the heavier scratch marks out. This spot I did earlier. Kind of just sand along the whole door part. And like this here. Now this is about the second or third time I'm sanding on these filler spot here. So it's going to be a few times. And then now that I've got it like this, I will probably get some 400 grit or some 280 or something, and then put it on my little finish. Finish DA, put it on that, and just lightly want to cross everything. That will get heavier of the scratch marks out. Some of the 100 scratch marks, even some of the 150 marks, you'll still see through your primer sometimes. There's a few up here you can see, I don't know if you can see them in the light. For the most part, that's going to cover really good. I still got a little bit of time. I do want that primer paint hit that. But that's pretty good there. You can't feel. Right across there. Good. Looks like I can see it in there. Right there. It's 150. I don't think I'll go over anything else anymore with anything 150 or lighter. 400 will smooth all these. Of course, the weather's been kind of funny. It looks like in some areas they got a slight surface rust going on in the bare door. And because I live in Michigan and it's still April, so the weather's not the greatest. And it's been raining. And even though this is going to cut me shine in the garage is heated. It's been taking on some that's good right there. And then my mirror bracket's going to be through holes bolted right there. with some 400 grit. I want to take a little bit of air here and you'll see. That's the door. That's just kind of how you got to do with the body filler. Thought I'd show you that in case you didn't know. It takes a little patience sometimes, but when you get to those smaller cuts, you just got to make something look a little bit better, not perfect. Or you can make it look perfect if you want it, depending on how much time you want to spend. But my door a little more fine thin with some 400. Or maybe even a little more, a little higher. I'll be ready to put some primer on that, and then we'll see what she looks like with primer.